What lies beyond the success formula? We are often told that success is about hard work, dedication, and perseverance. But what if I told you that there's more to it than just grit and determination? What if I shared with you a secret that few people are willing to talk about? It starts with the feeling of being stuck. You know, that sense of restlessness that comes when you feel like you are not moving forward in life. It's like being trapped in a never-ending cycle of monotony, where every day feels like Groundhog Day. But what if I told you that this feeling is not just about external circumstances? What if I shared with you a psychological concept that explains why we get stuck in the first place? It's called opportunity regret. It's the feeling that you've missed out on chances, opportunities, and experiences that could have changed your life forever. But here's the thing, it's not just about what we don't have, it's also about what we do have. We often focus on our limitations, our fears, and our doubts. We let those things hold us back from taking risks, from pursuing our passions, and from living a life that truly reflects who we are. But what if I told you that there's a way to break free from these limitations? What if I shared with you a story about someone who was stuck in a rut, but found the courage to take control of their life? Meet Sarah, a successful businesswoman who felt suffocated by her own achievements. She was trapped in a world of expectations and responsibilities, where every decision felt like a weight on her shoulders. But one day, she realized that she had a choice. She could continue living a life that didn't truly reflect who she was, or she could take a leap of faith and pursue her dreams. It wasn't easy, of course. There were moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But Sarah knew that if she wanted to live a life worth living, she had to be brave enough to face those fears head-on. And so, she made a decision. She took a risk, stepped out of her comfort zone, and pursued her passion with every fiber of her being. The result? A sense of freedom, purpose, and fulfillment that she never thought possible. Sarah learned that true success is not just about achieving external goals, it's about living a life that truly reflects our values, passions, and desires. So, what can we learn from Sarah's story? How can we apply this concept to our own lives? It starts with recognizing the power of our fears and doubts. We often let those things hold us back, but what if I told you that they're not as powerful as we think? In fact, research shows that our brains are wired to respond to threats, even when there's no real danger present. This is known as the amygdala hijack, where our emotions take over and lead us to make decisions based on fear rather than reason. So, how can we overcome this? How can we learn to think more rationally, rather than being controlled by our emotions? It starts with self-awareness. We need to recognize when our fears and doubts are taking over, and then challenge them head-on. We need to ask ourselves questions like, is this thought really based on fact, or is it just a product of my imagination? We also need to develop a growth mindset, where we see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our ego. We need to be willing to take risks, learn from our mistakes, and adapt to changing circumstances. And finally, we need to cultivate a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. What are our values? What makes us tick? What gives our life significance? When we have a clear sense of purpose, we are more likely to make decisions that align with our values and passions. We are more likely to take risks, pursue our dreams, and live a life that truly reflects who we are. So, what lies beyond the success formula? It's not just about achieving external goals. It's about living a life that truly reflects our values, passions, and desires. It's about recognizing the power of our fears and doubts and learning to overcome them. It's about developing a growth mindset, taking risks, and pursuing our dreams with every fiber of our being. And most importantly, it's about finding purpose and meaning in our lives. When we do that, we are more likely to live a life worth living, one that truly reflects who we are and what makes us tick.